Okay, ladies and gentlemen, starting things off here, funny story. So the first time I played through this area, and get the ice, the plasma beam and everything, like everything's going, just fine, just swimmingly, just perfect, But then, like, I realized that I forget like, I wasn't going through things as efficiently and as great as I thought I could be, so I decided, okay, I'll just redo the session, So I do that, and everything goes perfectly. Like, I find everything in the right order, I move through really fast, like, I was really satisfied with my commentary, and then I sit down to look at the output file for my Hopog, and guess what? Fucking thing didn't record any of it. Piece of motherfucker. I hate... God damn! You guys have no idea how frustrating it is. Like, especially those of you out there who don't create content, like, at all. Just how frustrating it is when your equipment, like, just decides not to work. For no reason other than it just doesn't feel like it. It's just so... Like, I've played through this... Like, the stuff you guys just saw in, like, part 17, where I got the plasma beam and then just swung through this area of Phendrana. I've done that, like, 3 times now. I swear to God. But now we have to go to the top of the Space Pirate Research Facility to grab an artifact. I'm going to cut now, and I will see you guys when we get there. Alright, and we're back. Now we're here at the top of the control tower room. And there are a couple of things, well, just one thing really that we want to do here. First, you want to take care of these annoying as hell freaking flying pirates that I did not realize that they were this annoying until I did this playthrough. Like, seriously, losing that recording session, man, losing that, it just put me in a rotten mood, like really, really rotten mood. And I'll try to liven things up a little. I apologize. So over here, what's really weird is that if you don't blow up the bottom one, none of the rest of them will go either. Over here, there is a couple of fuel cells made of radion, and as we all know, anything made of radion will blow up nicely with a missile. I'll make this tower crash into the side of the wall here. If it would now move along a little. And yeah. So, like, as I've kind of mentioned before, a lot of people, like, really, really hate the artifacts. Like, it's just, like, utterly the worst part of the game in their eyes is having to collect the artifacts. It's really not that bad. Like, I don't get why so many people hate it. Like, if you know... It's not like they're really obscure or difficult to find or anything. Like, really, the only crime they commit is making you do backtracking, which this game already makes you do plenty of already, I understand, but... well, at this point, we're gonna be just pretty much leaving this place already. We're gonna be coming out this entrance to the ruined courtyard, so I want to head this way. At this point, I think we're gonna cut to when I leave the Space Pirate Research Facility, so I will see you guys later. And we're back. So first thing we want to do now that we've left the base is head over back to where Thardus was. Oh, and of course there's got to be secure. Like, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I've played through this whole routine like 3 times. 4, I guess, if you count the practice playthrough I did. So, like, at this point, I'm just kind of like, ugh. Like, after a while, like, when you're redoing the same thing over and over again, it becomes a little... I don't know. Over here, you'll notice that where Thardus once was, there's now a Shiga. And this is going to be... I love this. This is so cathartic. Once you get the plasma beam, you can wipe these guys out in, like, no time flat. And, like, knowing just how much I hate these things, it feels just so great. I can't stress it enough. So over here... there are a pair of grapple points. Latch onto them, come over here to this hole on the side of the wall, and if you roll down in through here, there's a missile expansion. Cut, print, kill a pig, yeah. And what's it do with the orange? Is that like part of the spider ball, or is that a graphical glitch? Is that... I don't know, that's always confused me, and I thought that was only like if you like sequence break in like the GameCube version for some reason. That's weird. Alright, now we're gonna be heading back through here. I don't think I'm gonna cut this out just by virtue of, like, I'm not going through like a huge chunk of the game or anything. I'm really only like a few rooms away from... Oh, of course there's gotta be more of these guys. Like, and of course it has to take like a fully charged beam to kill. I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The sooner we get out of Phendrana and I don't have to, you know, keep redoing the same thing over and over again, the better. And you know what? I'm gonna move on to a different topic of conversation, because I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing me complain about that. But, you know, one thing I'm amazed I just never talked about this whole entire time: the music. Like, it's really good stuff, isn't it? Like, I don't know how well you guys can hear, because, like, it really depends on whether you're wearing headphones. If you smash through that ice with the plasma beam, you can get a power bomb expansion. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, over here, like, all of it's, like, great stuff. Like, the remixes, I'm not really a fan of the Talon Overworld remix of the Brinstar theme, but, you know, it's still a good song. The Magmoor Caverns, it's a remix of Lower Norfair from Super Metroid. That's good stuff too, especially with its drums. Let's see, what else? Phendrana Drift, it's very atmospheric. Like, that's what the soundtrack does really effectively, is that not only is it really atmospheric, but, you know, it's also really catchy too. Like, that to me is the mark of truly great video game music. Smash through the ice here and you'll find a missile expansion. If you can make video game music that not only really immerses you in your environment, but also makes your head bop too, you know, like, that's what the really good stuff is, you know, in my book. You know, like, like Metroid, I think feel pretty confident in saying that Metroid Prime 1's soundtrack is probably the best of the three. Probably. Over here, in this pillar, more ice, shoot it with the plasma beam, it melts. Then you can grab this. Missile expansion, booyah. Now we're going to swing back over to the temple where we found the wave beam. Grab one last power-up before we leave this place, and probably head back to Magmoor and grab the last couple things we can get there. But, you know, like, I feel pretty confident saying that it's probably the best of the three. I really like Echoes' soundtrack. I think it's really underrated, actually. Like, that whole game is underrated. I might have to do a playthrough of that game, too. I don't know. It depends on how well I think this one turned out. I'm not gonna do it right away, is what I'm saying. Like, if I end up coming back to Echoes, that's gonna be, like, I don't know, a while from now. There are some other things I really want to do. This was just kind of like a time killer, like something to fill up time between when I do my next series of reviews and, you know, and the stuff I did after the Mario Marathon, you know. It was just for fun. If you melt the ice in this guy's hands, you know, that'll open up, sit yourself in there, that'll blast open that somehow, I don't know. And you just roll back on down in here, and there's an artifact. Booyah. You know, and as for like a favorite track in this game, you know what? I think my favorite track in this game would probably be Phendrana Depths. You know, the area that I was just in 3 times in a row. Sorry. It's just a really good track. Like, it's funky, it's got a good beat to it, but it's also really atmospheric at the same time. It's kind of sort of a remix of this area's theme, you know? I really like it. It's a good track. I also like the Submerged Frigate theme. I think that's what it's called. I think it's called the Submerged Frigate. Like, it's got like a piano thing going on in the background, and I really like that. I'm a fan of the piano. It's a very mellow instrument. Makes me feel good. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have completed the Phendrana Depths, or Phendrana Drifts, rather. We will never be coming back there again. Hopefully. Now we're going to want to head through here. Hopefully the Hopog did not decide to stop recording again. Otherwise, I'm going to throw my Wii Remote through my TV and go have a nervous breakdown. But, you know, up over here, God, like, why are there so many of these flying pirates? I never realized just how annoying they are until I did. Like, is it just me, or are a lot of enemies in Metroid Prime 1 just really, really, really annoying? Like, they aren't even, like, hard to kill, or, you know, like, it doesn't take, like, a super complicated strategy to defeat most of them. But there are just so many enemies that, like, after you beat the 100th one, you're just like, okay, can we stop? Can these enemies just stop coming now? Over here, you might remember the last time we were here, we found that there was, like, a Bendesium drain cover thing here. Lay a power bomb. That'll blast it open. And then there is a power bomb expansion. First couple times I played through this game, I didn't know that that existed, and you know, it took me a while to figure out that that was there, and then once I did, like, that was like the first time I got 100%. Over and down here, in this tube that reminds me of the area that separates Meridia and Brinstar from Super Metroid, there is an important pickup, one of the last few. This is the Ice Spreader, the charge combo for the Ice Beam. This one's more like the Super Missile and less like the Wave Buster. What the Ice Spreader will do is it's basically an ice super missile. It costs 10 missiles to use, and it will freeze enemies in their tracks. So, like, if you're fighting like a Metroid or something and it won't stop fucking moving, that's probably a good strategy to take it out. But from here, that is the last pickup in the Magmoor Caverns. We are done with this place for good. Hooray! So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut to when we get to the Chozo Ruins. Wow, we're making lots of progress here. I'm kind of honestly surprised, but I'm going to cut to when we get to the Chozo Ruins. Alright, and we're back. Here we are in the Chozo Ruins. So there are quite a few things we can get now. And I think before we end this part, I think maybe I can get to one or two more. I mean, like, I honestly didn't expect this to go as fast as it's going. Like, I'm honestly surprised I'm able to make this so efficient. No, that's good. That's good for the playthrough, at least. Like, it means that, you know, like, I know that to some, like, all of this cleanup, it doesn't really interest them all that much, because it's just kind of, like, there. But, you know, the people who are watching this just to, like, figure out how to get 100%, I'm sure that this is very, very useful, very helpful, like, the part of the playthrough that they were most looking forward to. Let's see, I want to go that way. No, and depending on how long this takes, like, I want to cut this part off at 15 minutes this time. I want to actually have a playthrough, or a part in this playthrough that is actually not too long. You know, like, looking back, I mean, like, I've learned so much just from this one playthrough, ladies and gentlemen, about... I mean, like, I learned a lot from doing Game Mavericks, and that one playthrough of Super Castlevania 4 I had up a while ago that has since been taken down, but, you know, I must say that this playthrough has taught me so much. I think we're going to grab this right here. This is a Power Bomb expansion. Pretty easy to find. Up over here is the last piece of Chozo lore in the game. The power of our temple and the 12 artifacts is sealed in evil in the depths of this planet. However, the future is cloudy to us, a world of veils where dark apparitions flit in the shadows. Within this strange world, one image stands out in the mist, flickering through the landscape, wraith-like. It is a human, a lone figure shining in the toxic shadows. We Chozo do not know what it is, but our hearts swell with hope at the promise of that glowing light. We will place our faith in our shrine. We will be there when the light shines upon our land. And yeah, that's the last piece of Chozo lore. Really loud door slam. Anyway, over here, I think this is going to be the last thing we grab before we end the part. There's a missile expansion in that wall behind those trees. Yep. And I think before we head into this room, I'm going to cut things off for the part, because even if it ends up being a little short this time, but again, I want to make a part that, you know, that's actually like the correct length. So, in the next part, we're going to hopefully be finishing up grabbing some lingering power-ups in the Chozo Ruins before moving on to Talon Overworld, and then finally finishing the phase on Mines. So, until next time, I'm Paradigm Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time.